We all need mentors. We need people who are wiser than us, more experienced than us, to help us walk through certain periods of our life. And I want to take some time to talk through a couple of the lessons that I've learned from different mentors in my life, specifically between the period of being about 12 to about 17, that were really formative for me in how I became a leader and how I became a better mentor, hopefully myself. See, when I was 12, 13, 14, I was in a Boy Scout type group at my church. And during this period, I had a leader, and his name was Ron. Now, Ron was a 50s Anglo-American, average height and build, but with a deep voice and thinning hair. He showed up every week, and he helped us learn all of those things that you learn in a group. Ron and the other leaders taught us how to tie knots and how to go canoeing. They taught us how to set up a tent. They taught us knife safety as well as throwing knives and hatchets. They taught us shooting bows and arrows and guns safely. They taught us how to build a fire. They took us camping, all while earning badges and patches all along the way, because that's what a good group does. Ron really cared about us. He cared about me. He and his wonderful wife, Sandy, would buy me birthday presents and take me out to really nice restaurants. They showed their love and affection as they poured their lives into me. But after a period of time, I was starting to grow up, and I knew I was kind of starting to outgrow that group. And I knew that as the spring session was ending, that this was probably it. I was probably done. Which meant I had to tell Ron that I was kind of done with the group. And I was worried because I didn't want him to feel hurt or rejected or even angry because I was leaving. So one night near the close of the session, after the group had stopped meeting that night, I asked Ron if I could talk to him outside. And he said, sure. And we walked outside, and he looked at me, and I was scared because I didn't know what he was going to say or what he was going to do. But I mustered up the courage just to say, listen, I really appreciate everything you've done for this group and for me in particular. You poured your time and energy into us for years, and I'm really grateful. But I think it's about time that I moved on. I'm actually going to, in the fall, start spending more time at our youth group at our church rather than spending time with this group. And he paused for what seemed like an eternity to me as a young man. And he looked in my eyes and he said, I knew this day was coming, and I understand. I love you, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the man you're becoming. I'm just grateful that God allowed me to be part of your journey. I was stunned. He came over and he gave me a big bear hug. And as he backed up, he said goodbye, and he walked away. And as a mentor now several times for quite a few other people, I can guess that Ron was experiencing this bittersweet mix of emotion, of joy and loss, that every good mentor risks when they start pouring into someone's life, because it may turn out well and it may turn out poorly, but it usually ends at some point. Only years later did I realize what Ron had taught me that night and every night before that. That a good mentor knows it's not about them. It's not about them, their priorities, their goals, their achievements. It's not about them. It's about the person they're pouring into. Thank you, Ron, for being a good mentor to me.